What's the most creative punishment your parents gave to you? When my sister and I were younger, we fought like it was a competitive sport. We didn't even need a real reason. Sometimes just looking at each other the wrong way could spark a full-blown argument. One afternoon, it escalated into something bigger. I can't even remember exactly what started it, but there was yelling, door slamming, and the kind of noise that made it impossible for my dad to ignore. He finally had enough. He came into the hallway, told us both to knock it off, and announced we were both grounded. That only made us turn on each other harder. We stood there in the kitchen pointing fingers, trying to convince him that the other one was to blame. She said I'd started it, I said she was lying, and neither of us was willing to back down. Instead of yelling back or trying to sort it out, he got this quiet, thoughtful look on his face. Then he told us to go to our rooms. A few minutes later, he came into mine and sat down on the edge of the bed. He took a deep breath like he was about to share some serious father-to-child wisdom. He leaned in a little and said, "I know it was your sister's fault. I'm not going to tell her that, but I know it. The thing is, I still have to punish her. So, how long do you think I should ground her for?" It caught me off guard. I was expecting a lecture, maybe even a stricter punishment for both of us, not an invitation to decide hers. I thought about it for a second, trying to be reasonable but also still a little smug about having one in his eyes. I said, "A couple of days, maybe 3. He nodded like that made perfect sense, patted my knee and left the room. What I didn't know at the time was that he walked straight into my sister's room and repeated the exact same thing. Only in her version, I was the guilty one. He told her he knew it was my fault and asked her how long I should be grounded for. She didn't hesitate. "A month," she said, probably thinking she'd just dealt me the ultimate blow. When he called us back out to the living room, he explained our punishments. My sister, grounded for a month. Me, grounded for 3 days. The look on her face when she realized what happened was something I'll never forget. There was no arguing with it either. He just shrugged and said, "You decided each other's punishment. That's final." She tried to protest, pointing out that I'd obviously gone easy on her just to make myself look better. He didn't budge. I wasn't exactly smug for long. 3 days still felt like an eternity when you're a kid. But watching her deal with 4 whole weeks of no TV, no phone, and no friends over was something else entirely. For the rest of that month, she gave me a wide berth. She didn't try to start fights, didn't take petty shots, and barely even spoke to me unless she had to. When the month was finally up, things between us weren't magically fixed, but she definitely thought twice before pulling anything that could get us both in trouble. It was like she'd learned that being spiteful could backfire in a way she hadn't expected. Years later, when we were older and less prone to yelling at each other over nothing, my dad told us exactly what he'd done and why. He said it wasn't about fairness so much as showing us how our own choices could turn against us. My sister didn't find it nearly as funny as he and I did, but I still think it was one of the smartest moves he ever pulled.